Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
God of Destruction of Universe 14, the venerable heir known as Amaron, now being shown ordering Dula and doing what he could in order to trigger Broly, with Broly shown going on an absolute rampage following the presumed death of one of his most beloved friends, Shilai. Planet Sadala now remains defenseless as all of its forces now try and do everything they possibly could to stand up to Broly, as with all other options now being shown limited, the million-dollar question moving forward is, will there be anybody on planet Sadala that would go the distance in stopping Broly from destroying everything, or is Broly at this point simply too uncontrollable to sustain as he will go on to destroy everything as we know it? Now, before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball related, including its manga, anime, video games, fan animations, fan mangas, and more, in which would also like to be kept up to date with everything in regards to the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball video games, and any and all additional content within the Dragon Ball universe, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what the future holds for the Dragon Ball franchise. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and now let's dive straight into the video. As our story now continues back on planet Vampa, with Berserker Broly being shown having to go on an absolute rampage in attacking planet Sadala's Saiyans, to which with the other Saiyans now having to observe in seeing their comrades be dropped one by one, it didn't appear as though anyone on planet Sadala was currently strong enough in even remotely being able to hold Broly back, to which even then, despite having to try, that was when one of the Saiyans went on to shout, "Hey you fat blob, is that all you've got? What are you trying to prove by attacking only inexperienced soldiers? You're not strong enough to attack more powerful warriors? Admiral, what are you doing?" one of the Saiyans responds. "Shut up, soldier, I know what I'm doing," the Admiral responds. "Now tell me, is that all that Shilai was worth to you?" To which this only had now proven to be a huge mistake in having to remind Broly of what happened to Shilai, because upon Broly now being shown having to once again power up in losing his absolute mind, he not only from that point was shown having to tear into planet Sadala's Saiyans, but it was right before Broly could do any more damage in wiping out the entire armada, where from out of nowhere the only individual that was seemingly strong enough in having to break through to Broly was Kale, as surprisingly enough, with Kale being shown having to jump in, that was when Kale went on to shout, "Stop! Kale? Broly, stop! It's me, Kale!" To which, as Kale was now face to face with Broly, that was when Kale went on to then tell him, "Listen, please, Broly, give me your hand," she says, to where even despite having to try her best in breaking through to Broly, it was only upon Kale now being shown having to touch him, where from out of nowhere we then see how Broly was beginning to spaz out and now prompting a direct response by attacking her, to where even Kale herself was left with no other choice than to retaliate, because given the threat level that Broly at this point was, there was no other person on this planet that could deal with him outside of her, to where even despite having to shoot an energy blast directly at him, Broly as a response then managed to grab onto the blast and redirecting it right back at Kale as Kale went on to say to herself, "What? He's returning my move? Hey, will Kale succeed in doing anything against him?" one of the Saiyans asked. "He's become an unstoppable beast, the exact representation of what our king hates about Super Saiyans. But he's our ally," the Admiral responds, and Kale knows this more than anyone else, so let's trust her. Yes, chaos, the Venerable Heir chimes in. "This is exactly what I asked Dula to do. The greatest strategist knows how to turn any situation to their utmost advantage. It's all a matter of foresight," as Vegeta went on to respond, "So you like being a smartass like that, huh?" To where from out of nowhere, as soon as Vegeta was now shown striking Amaron, that was when Vegeta had gone as far as to now continue, "You don't think I've forgotten that you sent one of your demon henchmen to track down Bulma? I won't forgive you, you bastard. Yet everything seems to be going my way from the moment I set foot onto this planet," Amaron responds. "I won't play your game forever, believe me," Vegeta responds, with Amaron telling him, "Oh, I can't wait to see your full potential, Vegeta." To which back with Kale, as soon as Kale was now slowly but surely now shown having to also use her Berserker power, it was only just then momentarily where Kale went on to observe something coming from Broly, with Kale responding, "Wait, did he just get distracted? Oh no, he's going to attack someone else." To which that was exactly what Broly was going to do, until it was from out of nowhere where Kale had now gone as far as to use more of her own Berserker powers in stopping him, as just before he went as far as to do so, as we now get to see how a desperate Kale was trying to do everything to stop him, it was just upon her barely now shown having to avoid one of his own mouth blasts, where from within that moment, as soon as she was able to find her opening, that was when Kale went on to touch Broly's face and telling him, "Please calm down, I beg you, please, please." Good, Kale continues, as we only then get to see within Broly's own consciousness, where lo and behold, Kale was finally able to now get through to him, as Kale went on to then continue, "It's me, Kale, please, Broly, just hear the sound of my voice, brother. We've done it before, and so I know you can do it," as the other Saiyans went on to chime in, "Well, she's crazy. Look, she came back to her normal state." "No," the Admiral shouts, "let her do it." To which, interestingly enough, as we only observe how both of their consciousness were now beginning to become in sync, in which only allowed for Kale to actually be shown getting through to the real Broly, the innocent Broly that was lying deep within, as this had only now appeared to be the only other way that Kale was able to get through to Broly. It was just upon her now being shown having to be inside of Broly's consciousness where Kale went on to utter, "Shilai, please, Broly, I can hear your inner self. Here, Broly, can you hear me?" As indeed she now was able to see the real Broly from within, because with the real Broly now being shown slowly shining through as he was shown sitting with his head down, the only other thing that seemed to have been on Broly's mind was in fact what had happened to Shilai, as Kale went on to then continue, "I know you're struggling not to lose control, Broly. I know this because the energy bonds I hold you with are no match for your strength, yet your body is pinned to the ground, which is proof that you are trying to pull yourself together. So take back control while you still can," with Broly shockingly responding, "No, but you must do it," Kale says. "Not until he pays," with Kale responding, "He'll pay, that damn demon will pay, but I can't let you go back. You won't just attack him, you'll do collateral damage to everyone, and we can't afford to lose anyone more." "If you don't agree," Broly responds, "I'll do it anyway." "No," Kale shockingly shouts, to where even inside of Broly's own consciousness, as he went as far as to lose his mind even there, Kale was now left with no other choice but to yet transform once more, and from that point being shown doing what she possibly could just to simply survive while within, to which even with Kale now beginning to acknowledge that she has no other choice, that was when Kale went on to respond, "No, I absolutely have to stop him." But then, it was right before she was able to actually formulate an energy blast within her hand, where from out of nowhere, Berserker Broly was now shown grabbing onto both arms, as Kale went on to shout, "Please come to your senses! I know know you could do. But then, the moment Broly was yet again now shown having to punch Kale right in the face, not only was this an end result of Kale being shown getting punched out of her Super Saiyan form, but interestingly enough, as soon as Broly was now shown having to formulate pupils, in now coming to his senses and realizing as to what he had just done, it now had appeared as though, weirdly enough, as soon as he was shown doing this, where he was beginning to regain consciousness and controlling himself, in which with Kale now being the difference maker in standing in the way of Broly's chaos, it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Kakumei manga chapter number 18 special then comes to a close. Now, one of the things that I really enjoyed about this manga chapter was, of course, seeing Kale actually try in confronting Broly, to where not only was she shown momentarily having to engage with him, but to see how she seems to be the only other person that understands what Broly is going through, of course, given the fact that she was once in that position, really goes as far as to create an interesting dynamic between the two. But the only thing that I did not like about this chapter was knowing the fact that, number one, it came to a close relatively too soon, and number two, I truly do think that Caulifla of all people should also be here to kind of aid Kale just in case things go left, in a sense where it would really be awesome to see someone like Kefla be a thing in trying to also go as far as to calm him down. But I guess to that we're gonna have to wait and see what the Dragon Ball Kakumei team has in store for us coming up in the upcoming manga chapter, which is that of chapter 19. So I want to go ahead and get your thoughts about how you guys feel down in the comment section below about this, to where, as always, if you guys want to go ahead and support the Kakumei team as well, then I do encourage you all to follow all of their social medias, in which I will leave all of their links located down in the description box below, to where, once again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so very much for your support, to where, as always, if you also just so happen to be new to this channel, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so that way you guys never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel. On top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up right now by smashing that like button down below, tune back in for more. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.